Ours is a vast industry employing thousands of people in countless different jobs, and yet we're all part of the same distribution chain. Each of us depends for our livelihood and well-being on the way our colleagues behave. You're about to find out how one section of the seafish industry is run by spending a day in the life of a fishmonger. It's before daybreak in southwest London, and Ray Sandys begins work. Long before the rest of the capital awakes, he is making his way to the world-famous market where he and many of his fellow fishmongers usually start their day, Billingsgate. It may be early, but Ray knows the market will be busy by the time he arrives. Already some deals will have been struck. His experience and buying skills are about to be tested.
I usually have about a half an hour walk around the market just to get a feel of things. And I select the merchants where I think the quality fish is. And after I've had a good look round, go back and make the decisions. And obviously, providing the quality is good, try to get it for as least as I possibly can.
Do you want about a fiver for them? What are they in, twos?
2 stones. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. Yeah, look, £6 you want them? £6 you. Look at that, a beautiful box, the best Scarborough fish there.
Put us on 1, 2 on Epsom, okay?
1, 2 on Epsom, okay?
Lovely. How much those whiting, Tony?
£6.5, right? Beautiful white.
6.5.
Best Scotch white down.
£9. How about those a bit cheaper? Eh?
I've got a wife with 15 kids indoors to feed. How many you got?
Finding the right fish at the right price is not the only reason Ray makes the trip to Billingsgate. By being there in person, he can spot the one-off bargains, the good buys. He can also keep up with the ever-widening range of fish products available. He has 2 shops to keep supplied, each with different requirements, and he must bring his knowledge and his buying skills into action. In any case, it's good to meet up with fellow fishmongers to talk business and exchange news.
Hello, Charles.
Hello, Sandy.
How are you? Not so bad, yeah. Not a bad market.
Not a bad market. It's a good cod fillet about, but the place is pretty rowy and rough, you know.
Same all round, I think.
Same all round, yeah.
You keep them well, Charles?
Very well indeed.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm not going to stand about. I've got to get up.
All right. I'll have a cup of tea with you later. Bye-bye, Charles.
Cheerio.
Cheers. How much those, Robert?
£7.
£7. Do us 4 halves on Epsom, Robert.
4 halves.
2 halves of bone on Epsom.
2 boned.
2 halves of yellow.
2 yellow finners.
And you know cutlets?
No cutlets.
The fish Ray has bought is taken out to his van. It's important that he checks to make sure he's going to leave with what he ordered and that the quality is satisfactory. The decisions he has made must be sound if he and his staff are to have a successful day.
Thanks very much, mate.
Okay, boy. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's now past 7 and time for Ray to take a break.
Are you still on a diet?
Meanwhile, back at the shop, the rest of his team are moving into action.
Morning, Trev.
Morning, Paul.
Oh, I had trouble with that car this morning.
Well, it's bloody cold, isn't it, mate?
Oh, yeah, start too easy.
My staff report somewhere in the region of about 7 o'clock. They will have received a few boxes of fish from the coast, which is delivered during the night. They will have brought that into the shop and started to prepare it. what stock has been left from the previous day, they will have put out the front and prepared it for display, ticketed the fish, and generally got the counter as full as they possibly can with the limited amount of supplies that are there until I arrive.
Cheers, mate.
Setting up a good counter display is highly important, but it's no simple task, as the staff know well. Ray believes the effect of a well laid out counter can be crucial.
Well, my staff do say that I don't actually put on a display. What I do is paint a picture. And this, of course, depends upon the type of display one has got. The use of ice, the little odd things that make a display and make people notice. That's what it's all about, getting the people to stop and look at your fish.
The first fish on sale will probably have come from the chiller and may have been prepared the day before. As customers arrive and sales get underway, more fish will have to be prepared to keep the displays full. Some will have been delivered overnight directly to the shop, but most will come from the early trip to Billingsgate. Talking of which, Ray has arrived back now and has already taken the tarpaulin off the van, ready for unloading.
What I go eat? Anything up here today?
Not bad, mate. You want to take a bite?
It's now 9:15 and business in the shop is brisk. This fish will have to be unloaded quickly and either stored in the chiller or freezer or processed prior to going on sale. This is the time when good stock control is vital. Ray and his staff must use their experience and product knowledge to select which fish to store and which to make ready for immediate sale.
Sea bail on check that go in the cold room, all right?
What I go eat?
The dogfish is chosen for sale and is taken to the workbench for processing. The other iced fish will be washed, re-iced and stored in the chiller until needed. The important point to remember is that the counter must be kept topped up with fish throughout the day to meet the demand of the customers. Maintaining a steady flow is everything. Too little and customers will be left unsatisfied. Too much and there will be too much fish left on display when it comes to close the shop.
$2.72, sir. $2.75, $2.80, 3, 5, and 5 is 10. Won't be a moment.
Thank you.
Okay. Madam, good morning.
Serving customers throughout the day requires politeness and skill. The fishmonger should always adopt a friendly approach without being over-familiar. Identifying the customer's needs and then meeting those needs is the major priority.
See if that's too dear. They are a bit cheaper today, too.
Are they?
That's 126.
Yeah, it's a bit heavy. I think I might. What about the whiting?
Whiting, madam?
Yeah,
Yes.
£1. Can
But-
do you? Oh, they're on.
Do you want them filleted?
Yeah. Would that be too heavy though?
That'll be too large for you.
Yeah, I only want one for myself. But,
I'll try that one, shall I?
yeah, I'd say that'd be forever too big too.
That's 80 pence.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have that.
Shall I fillet it
Yes,
for you?
please. Yeah.
Thank you very much. The whiting filleted, please.
Fishmongers are in direct contact with the public every day and know all too well that some of their customers may be unfamiliar with some of the fish products available. It's sometimes up to the staff to educate the shopper. Maybe they've never heard of imported exotic fish like snappers, or even some of the less well-known varieties of British fish like gurnard. Or perhaps it's the preparation and cooking methods they're not sure of. Seafish recipe leaflets were produced for times like this. Throughout the whole transaction, it's up to the staff to remain patient and helpful.
$2.50, thank you very much. Give her what advice you can. If you don't know yourself, there is usually one of the Seafish recipes available on the counter, and be as sympathetic as you possibly can, but make sure that you're interested. If she sees you're interested, she will in fact experiment with the fish again and again. And if you can do that with a customer and get her to eat maybe 2 different varieties in the course of the week, you're there, and you've probably got a customer for life.
Some herring, please.
Yes, ma'am.
4.
4 nice herring.
That's 80 pence, please, madam. 7, 8. Filleted, please.
Many of the fish products on display, such as fillets and steaks, require little or no further processing on the part of the customer. Other fish, however, like herring and mackerel, are usually displayed in their whole form and may need cleaning, trimming or other forms of processing to suit the customer. Fish preparation is an essential customer service which the fishmonger should be able and willing to provide. Some fish processing techniques are relatively simple, others more complicated, demanding considerable skill and expertise. But in all cases, the aim is the same: to produce a product which meets the customer's needs, looks attractive and is hygienically prepared with the minimum amount of waste.
From the market for you tomorrow, that's right, yes.
It's now late afternoon and Ray takes orders over the phone for customers planning ahead for later in the week or for the weekend. Ray is doing his own forward planning, of course, throughout the day. As fish has been sold, he's been building up an idea of what he's going to need from market in the morning.
Yes, certainly. It's about 3 to the quarter, madam. That'll be fine. That's Friday morning. Thank you, madam. Bye-bye. We will be considering our order for the following day, what items have been selling exceptionally well. A, because they may have been on your notice board, they may have been more prominently displayed on your counter or on your slab than other products and have sold particularly well. It may have been because you got up early and went to market and bought cheaply. If you pass that price reduction on to the customer, that she's responded and in fact bought more of the product. So you must bear this in mind when calculating your order for the following day.
It's 5:30 and the shop is about to close. The day's takings must be cashed up. Some money will be kept to form tomorrow's float, while the rest will be taken to the night safe. Meanwhile, the displays must be dismantled and the fish that's going into store carefully iced. Smoked fish and cooked fish products are stored in a separate chiller, away from the iced fish. The shop must be thoroughly cleaned. This involves everything from the fish trays and scale pans to the cabinet glass and counters. Hygiene levels must always be maintained. The last item to be cleaned is usually the floor, and this signals the end of the daily shop activities. For the rest of the staff, their work is done. But Ray's day is far from ended. although he can now continue his work at home. It's after 8. Having had supper, Ray and his wife must look to the books. This basically involves checking that what's been ordered has been supplied and that what's been delivered has been paid for on time. Most fishmongers are allowed a week to a fortnight's credit, after which time payment is due.
£40, 40 pence a bag, yeah, Bobby.
Yeah, can you go back to the 24th of December?
On a Saturday, the merchants will present me with the bills for the fish that I bought the previous week. These have to be checked to see that all the fish that you are being charged for, you have in fact received. So there is a checking with the goods received in your book, in your market book. Checks have to be drawn, and my wife will arm me with a load of checks for payment the next day that I'm up the market.
Looking back over the day, it's obvious that a fishmonger must be a man of many talents. From those first decisions on which fish to buy,
Hey,
Gonna pay your bill?
I'll call you, don't I?
through the day's business at the shop, the successful handling of sales to customers,
£1.69, £1.73, £2.
Bye, dear.
Thank you.
and of course the financial planning. Through it all, Ray has been working flat out. So, what does he think of his job?
There is no other trade that I would like to do. And anybody that is keen, if they were able to get the job satisfaction that I've had out of it, then I would recommend that they do it.
Even as Ray goes to bed just after 11, catches are being landed and transported to market. The seafish industry never stops, and in a matter of hours he'll be up again, refreshed and ready for another day.